What's going on YouTube? Just real quick, I know some of you are preparing, or many of you are preparing to watch the Super Bowl as well as I am. Just want to do a quick, video on the LG Wing and the LGV60. Now, I did a comparison between these two a while ago, but I just wanted to do another one real quick because I do like one a little bit more than the other, and I may have said that differently in the previous video. But just for those people that are still LG fans out there, you love LG products, even though they closed their smartphone division a couple of years ago, they're still updating these devices. Both will get Android 13 sometime this year. Don't know when, but sometime this year, both of these will receive Android 13. So, which one should you pick up? Now, both of these are going to be dirt cheap. Now, the LG Wing is going to be a little bit more. It's going to be a little bit of, at the lowest I've seen it for was $299. And you could find the LGV60. Now, I've seen as low as $160, but that's for like T-Mobile locked or Verizon locked. But just unlocked, you're looking like maybe $279, which is still dirt cheap. I mean, you're talking about almost like budget phone prices for these devices, okay? Now, let's get started real quick. I'm going to try to make this quick. I'm going to show you the differences, all right? Now, the LG Wing is not a flagship device. Now, I thought this was, and I used to say it all the time, that it was a flagship device. However, it is not. You may say, well, why isn't it? I thought it was. Well, the reason why it's not a flagship device, even though it performs like one and it feels like one in the hand, it does not have a flagship processor or a flagship chipset in it. It only has a Snapdragon 765. Okay, it has a gaming chip in it. Now, it does perform great, but that's not a high-tier chipset. Now, with the LGV60, you do have a flagship chipset, Snapdragon 865. Okay, so this is the flagship. This has more like a mid-tier chipset in it, but they both perform very, very well. Next, the LG Wing is a heavier device. So if you don't like heavy devices, you don't want to even consider this phone. Now, this phone is very innovative, very unique. There's no other phone on the market like this device, but it is heavy, okay? The LG V60 is a much lighter device, and you'll have no problem carrying this for a long period of time. With the LG Wing, you can get hand fatigue or either arm fatigue if you have to hold this in your hand for a long period of time. But I still love it regardless. But it is a heavier device. Now, also with the LG V60, you have a bigger footprint. And what I mean by that, you can see that it's a larger device. If you look at it, now they're both the same height as far as 6.8 inch, but this is a wider device, as you can see. And both have different designs. Which design do I like better? Definitely the LG Wing. I love the design. It reminds me a lot of the Note 20 Ultra. Now, I don't dislike this design. This reminds me more of the Samsung S10, but I actually like the design of the LG Wing better. All right, next. The LG Wing does not have dual stereo speakers. Only have one downfire speaker that is adequately loud. It gives you nice sound quality, nice stereo sound quality. But the LG V60 does have dual stereo speakers that sound absolutely amazing. I mean, they just do, honestly. Next, the LG Wing does not have a headphone jack. Now, that's something that really disappointed me with this device because that's what I was expecting on it when I bought it, but it does not. However, the LG V60 does come with a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Next, the LG Wing does not come with a quad DAC, but the LG V60 does come with a 32-bit hi-fi quad DAC. Now, there is some kind of surround sound thing you can get with the LG Wing, but it's a joke compared to the sound quality you're gonna get out of this headphone jack with this quad DAC. Sounds absolutely amazing. Okay, so definitely advantage LG V60. Next, the LG Wing comes with a smaller battery at 4,000 milliamp hours. The LG V60 comes with a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. So you're going to get better battery, better battery life with the LGV60. Now I can get over a day of battery with the LG Wing, but that's me. Everybody's usage is going to be different. I know some people say they can't even get through a day with the LG Wing, but I can't say that you're wrong. I mean, if that's your experience, but I can get more than I can get into the next day with the LG Wing. But my usage is going to be different from yours. But with the LG V60, you could easily get a day and a half easily. Standby time on both is really, really good. Next, the LG Wing comes with a built-in dual display. And that's what makes this phone so unique. The dual screen display. It's amazing. Love it. Okay, this thing is awesome. Love this thing because you can control this screen up here with everything down here. And if something's going on up here, you could play something different down here. So it's basically multitasking to another level. But especially if you're watching a movie, you can just hold it like this. Now you're probably saying, oh, would I be touching the screen? You just swipe down, you hit this button right here, and it goes into grip lock. So you can still see the time, the date, the day, the battery percentage, and your notifications, but you can hold the device like this and watch your content. Or if you're trying to do other things, you can easily just grip this without messing with the screen at the bottom. Now, you just hit that, turn it back on. Now you say, well, how can I control this screen without having to use my thumb? All you do is press this button right here. Gives you a little mouse. See it right here? All you do is click on that. See, if I was playing something, just click on that. Those are the movies I want to watch. I click on this. Now, I can't play it because I don't want to get no copyright thing. But even these things on the side here control the brightness and the volume. So not only can you click on whatever you need to do, you can raise the volume and the brightness, either the bottom or the sides here. So this is very, very, very cool. You know, I love the versatility of this device. So this is what makes this device so innovative, and there's no other device on the market like this. You're not going to find another one. It's a shame LG couldn't improve this with another one that came out like this, because this thing is amazing. I love this, and the build quality on this thing is absolutely amazing. It feels so premium in the hand. It's super, super comfortable in the hand. And this whole week, for the first time, and I normally never rock any of my phones without a case, I've been using this phone all week without a case because I just wanted to feel the build quality. I just wanted to experience. I just wanted to feel the quality and the premiumness, how it feels so awesome. Like, and in the case I have on it, really don't really protect it. It only really protects the back of the phone. It don't protect the front or the sides at all. So I'm just like, forget it. I'll just be extra careful when I take it out of my pocket. I'll just grip it up real good so it don't slip, and just, be careful with it. But I'm telling you, this actually feels better in my hands and more premium than the LG V60. That's my experience. Now, if you don't have both, you wouldn't know that, but I like the way this one feels. And that dual screen capability is awesome. Now, with the LG V60, now I forgot to put the case on here, but you could buy a dual screen case to go with this. So you'll get 2 full screens, take your multitasking to a whole nother level, but that's going to cost you more money. You're looking at almost $200 for that case, when this phone already has built-in dual screens. So if you want dual screen on here, you got to buy that case. And a lot of times the case is cool. I do like it, but it makes the phone even more bulky and large. And most people are not going to be carrying nothing in their pocket that big and bulky. They're just not. That's something you'll probably use at home. Or maybe if you'll carry it in a bag separate from it, and then when you need it, you put it on it. But most people ain't going to leave it on it because it's just too big and bulky. But it is nice to have, if you're a person that like to multitask. It's cool. Next, the LG Wing has a more narrow display, which you can easily see. Put both displays on. you can clearly see that this has a more narrow display. But at the same time, it has a better display. And you may say, better how? Well, both are 1080p, so they're both the same resolution, okay? Same PPI, same, HDR10 plus. But when you look a little closer, as you can see, with the LGV60, you have this little notch up there. If you look around the side, you can see the bezels all the way from the top, all the way around to the bottom. With the LG Wing, there is no bezels on the side at all. And the one at the top is very, very thin. Same at the bottom. So when it comes to the display, now the brighter display is going to go to the LGV60. But just the overall, the way they got the display set up, is better on the LG Wing. Because I hate, now I guess the bezels around the side don't bother me as much. But that notch, I hate that. I really wish they hadn't done that. I really don't like that at all. Not at all. So if you want a larger display, you want to go with the LG V60 because it's much wider. So you're going to get a bigger footprint. You're going to get more display. But that depends on the person. Some people don't like super wide displays because people want to handle their phone one-handed. This is going to be, the Wing is going to be a little more one-handed friendlier than that of the LG V60. Next, the LG Wing has a pop-up selfie. And let me show you that really quick. Exposing myself. See it right there? See it just pop up? I'll put it back down. So you do have a pop-up selfie. Now that's something that the LG V60 does not have. That's the selfie is where that stupid notch is. So I do like the fact that that's a pop-up selfie. I just wish it had face unlock, which would have been really nice. Neither one of them had face unlock. Next, the button placement. Now, button placement is not important to everybody, but it's important to me because, you're always interacting with that power button. I don't interact with the volume rockers that much. I usually have it all the way turned up, and that's the way I keep it for the most part. But that power button, the placement of that power button is very, very important to me. Like the Pixel 6 Pro and all Pixel phones, the button placement on those devices are terrible. For me. I can't speak for everyone. I'm talking for me. Horrible. Now, with the LG Wing, the button placement is perfect. You got the power button here and the volume rockers right above it, all on the right side and easily reachable. Now, I would like it to be right here, just a smidge, but I don't have to really stretch to turn it off. And at the end of the day, you could always double tap. They do give you that option, okay? So the button placement on the LG Wing is perfect for me. When it comes to the LG V60, as you can see, the power button is on the right, volume rockers on the left. I know there's people out there that prefer separation between the two. I don't. I like everything on the right because I'm right-handed. But the power button is way too high. Look at where it should be right here. It's way up here. So I literally got to stretch to hit the power button. So in order to stop frustrating myself, I just double tap the screen. It's just much easier to do it that way because this power button is just way, way too high. Just way too high. And you do have a dedicated Google button on this device as well. Next, let's talk about the in-display fingerprint sensors. This is also a sore spot. Now, placement of the fingerprint sensor is important to me, okay? Now, when you look at the LG Wing, you see where it is? Right here where it should be. Perfect placement. Now, I want you to see where the LG V60 is. See how much lower it is? You got it way down here. It should be right here. I'm not sure why LG put that way down here like that, but that wasn't good placement. The placement on the LG Wing is way better. It's perfect placement. So when you holding it, boom, right here. Not all the way down here. I don't like this I don't like the fact that it's so low down here like that. And they're both exactly the same. They both have haptic feedback, and they both have animations and different things you could change. You could change the animations with the fingerprint sensor on both devices. Next, the LG Wing is not IP68 water and dust resistant. Okay, that's another reason why it can't be considered a flagship, because mostly all flagships have water and dust resistant. Now, I know all of them don't, but most of them do. The LGV60 does have IP68 water and dust resistant. The LG Wing is IP54 splash proof. So if you splash water on it, it'll be fine, but it does not have the IP68 rating that the LGV60 does. Next, the LG Wing is not as bright as the LGV60, as you can see. You're talking about here with the LG Wing, 586 nits peak brightness, and the LG Wing has 622 peak nits peak brightness. Now there is a button, a setting on the in the settings where you can make the both the displays even brighter. It says extra brightness. So I've used it. The only downside to that is that the you're gonna wear down the battery even faster. Now it won't matter that much on the V60 because it's such a bigger battery and it's a little more efficient, but it'll kill your battery a lot faster on the LG Wing. So you may not want to use that. I did use it. I did like how much extra bright the screen got, because I always have all of my devices at 100% brightness. So I really did enjoy it. And of course, I mean, I get breaks in between, in between my day at my job. So if I, wear the battery down, I could always recharge it to 100% before I go back to work. So it's not a big deal for me. But those of you that are at your job all day and you have no way to charge your phone throughout the day, then you may not want to use that setting. Excuse me. All right. Now, and the last thing, and I think I touched on it already, with the LG V60, you got a dedicated Google button, and with the LG Wing, you don't. Not a big deal. Have to, like 99.9% of the time, or maybe 100% of the time, I don't even remember that Google button is there, honestly. I don't even think about it, honestly. So that's not a big deal, but that is a difference between the two. One has the dedicated Google button, the other don't. Now, when it comes to the cameras, they're somewhat similar, but they're a little different. But they both take excellent photos and videos. All the modes on both cameras are exactly the same. Both support, pen support. Both have 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. Both have a 256 gig internal storage variant. Both have expandable storage up to 2 terabytes. So pretty much everything else that I didn't even mention is they're pretty much the same when it comes to the internals. They're pretty much the same, honestly. The only differences I noticed was those that I listed, that I just gave you. But they're pretty much the same device when it comes to the software, is what I mean. Hardware is different, but the software is pretty much the same. They pretty much can do the same thing, except the processor is different in both of them. 765, 865. But they're both great devices. Now, what it comes down to, which one would I choose if I had to choose one? And this is hard for me because the LG V60 has better battery life, has a 32-bit hi-fi quad DAC, has better speakers because they have dual stereo speakers and they're super loud and good quality, has a headphone jack. Okay, that matters. That's going to matter to some people. Now, that matters to me too. I like it. And it's a brighter display. But with the LG V60, the LG Wing, I do like the way the screen is set up. I like there's no bezels on the side, super thin at the top and the bottom, no notch, no intrusion on the top of this display, and innovation. Okay, this one is all about innovation. So if I had to choose between the V60 and the LG Wing, as hard as this is to say, I'm gonna go with the Wing. Okay, of course, I'm going to get less battery life. I'm not going to get a headphone jack. I'm not going to get that quad DAC. I'm not going to get dual stereo speakers. But this is a head turner. This is one of them devices you go out and you got it like this, and all of a sudden somebody see you do that, they gonna be like, "Whoa, what kind of device is this? What kind of device is that?" This is a head turner. Seriously, this will get people's attention because there is no other device on the market like this. So if you're the type of person that want to stand out, want to be different, want to see people's head turns, and they're going to want to check out your device, this is the one, because this thing is just so unique. And even with the cameras, and I forgot to show you, let me show you that real quick. Now you can check out my full review on this. I'm not going to go too deep, but look at this right here. You can move this up, down, side to side. I mean, you got this gimbal mode. Like, that is so cool. So cool. You got dual recording. I mean, this thing is just, I love this device. Seriously. So when it comes just down to innovation, like, I like the build quality, I like the design, I like the heft, but I like the innovation. It's so innovative. So I would go with the LG Wing, my personal opinion. But I don't have to make that choice because I have both. So I'm going to get the quad DAC. I'm going to get the dual stereo speakers. I'm going to get the better battery life. I'm going to get the headphone jack. So I'm going to get a wider display. So I'm going to get all the things I want, and I can get both. I can get innovation, and I can get, this is more like of a powerhouse. Because remember, this is a flagship. This is not. But they both perform extremely well, and both have expandable storage up to 2 terabytes, which is very, very important to me. And both will be upgraded to Android 13. So I hope that cleared up some stuff. I hope, if you decide to get one of these, you just choose wisely, or if you can get both, and you'll get innovation and you'll get flagship powerhouse device. So thank you very much for watching this content. I do appreciate it. For those of you that are getting ready to watch the Super Bowl, I'm getting ready to watch it too. Hope it's competitive and I hope you enjoy it. And I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.